What makes this painting special is it's actually the first one that I've gotten as a member of the Hall of Fame. It'll probably go downstairs in the man cave.
Junior, so you were such a transcendent player of your generation, and you had this larger-than-life persona. Did you realize that you were having such an impact on the youth while you were playing, or did it more happen after your career was done?
Combination of both. I can tell you that being 19 years old in the big league helps, because people can relate to that who are, 16 to 19, even 20. You're relatable. And I think that's the biggest thing is, for me as a kid, I can go out and show everybody, hey, it's a game, you can have fun, and it doesn't matter how old you are. I was 19, so I was relatable, basically a year out of high school. Graduated 18. Next year I'm sitting there, playing with grown men, who have families, and I'm just having the time of my life, and people could see it. As I got older, I started to understand my place in baseball, my place in history. Had my first glimpse of it actually when I was 20, when my dad played with me. We went back-to-back home runs. Him being, on the tail end of his career, and me just starting really, him sitting there talking about, we did, and I was like, nah, yeah, we went back-to-back. And I'm like focused on the game, and he's over there like, that's never been done before. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, let's play baseball, and I'm focused on that, and he's hit me like, hey, dude, this is something, yeah. And it really didn't hit me until I started passing, like Frank Robinson on the home run chart and things like that, and Reggie Jackson and Mickey Mantle, and then I started thinking like, now I understand what my dad was talking about, but I didn't realize that at 19 or 20, I was just like, I want to go out there and play. Right. But then you start, like I said, you start reflecting like, oh my, I'm mentioned with the same names as some of the greatest who've ever played.
Growing up, I played a little myself, and there was so many kids in my neighborhood era that their favorite player was you. And there's so many, of us that really tried to model our game after what you were doing. You had this confidence and swagger about you. I tried to get that same swagger in this shot here. Hope I achieved that. That was the most important part to me to depict here. And I'm curious if you had a player like that you looked up to.
I tell you what, I was in the 4th grade, and we did a talent show. And at the time, my dad was playing with the Reds. I was imitating, we did Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and then I imitated every Red player batting stance. And after the show, my dad was like, hey, come here. And I was like, what? He said, hey, all those names are taken for a reason. Just be you. And from that point on, I was in 4th grade. It was like, come up with your own style. Be you. And I was like, okay. The hat backwards thing was not like intentional. It just happened. And the reason why is, what does every kid want? To wear their dad's stuff. Well, my dad had a fro. I had a little peanut head. Every time the front of the hat would hit me in the face, so I just turned it around, and it just stuck. And so even now, I get in the car, first thing, hat backwards. I pick up a brand new hat backwards, and everybody's like, I said, old habits are hard to break. Just to, anybody who shows you the joy of the game could be a trendsetter. And, we're playing a game. It's not life and death. But we want to go out there and compete as hard as we can. But, you realize that there are other people out here who have real struggles. And, so there's days where, I come in and, I take myself too serious, and I just remember all the things that other people are going through. And usually a shake out of it, just a little, okay, we can go ahead and do this. If somebody else is fighting, fighting for their life, I'm just fighting to hit a baseball.
I've been doing this for quite some time, and I, to a degree, will wow myself. Like, this started from blank canvas, and then from just a simple, brush and mixing paints, I kind of look back, not in the moment of painting it, but I'll kind of catch afterwards and really be like, I can't believe I really did this. And I played center field myself, and there was a ball in the gap, and I was actually in the middle of the dive, and the left fielder cut in front and the ball tipped off his glove, and I had to react in the air and actually caught the ball like between my forearm and bicep, and it was the last out of the inning, and I was running back into the dugout and tossed the ball to the umpire, and he was laughing and goes to me, "Did you really catch the ball there?" And I kind of gave the Michael Jordan, "Yeah," and that was like kind of a moment where I was like, wow, I can't believe I really did that. Do you remember like a play or maybe a milestone that you achieved that you were kind of like, I can't believe you wowed yourself?
First time I hit 50. My rookie year, I had Jeffrey Leonard. We were talking about, what are the numbers would you like to achieve? Mm-hmm. And I said, in this time, I got 8 home runs. And I said, I want to hit 50 and steal 20 in 1 year, and hit over 300. And he goes, that's Hall of Fame numbers. And he goes, if you hit 20 in the big leagues, you got pop. You hit 30, you're a monster. You hit 40, you're ungodly. You hit 50, you're legendary status. Yeah. And when I hit it, I started laughing. I have the same look when I run around the bases, but I hit it, shook my head because I was like, there it is. Probably the biggest challenges are, the day in and day out grind, trying to figure out, the next pitcher, the next pitch, when you don't feel like doing it, but you have to. Basically, day in and day out, it's work. Never take a day off, and when you're done, you can reflect.
In high school, I took a lot of advanced art classes, and I just remember drawing so many figures of yourself and some of the other stars. My 2 dreams were try to be a baseball player, and my second was, being a professional sports artist. Sitting here with you today, it just puts things kind of in perspective and a full circle, and it's really an honor to be here with you, and I appreciate that. Thank you.